But jokes on production, because that is now the lowest rated episode of RuPaul's Drag Race in history.
Oh.
I grew up in Alaska, and there was really not many choices for extracurricular activities besides like hockey, skiing, figure skating, or like getting pregnant and doing drugs. And so I'm actually really grateful for the pandemic because it gave fans a really good chance to like get to know us intimately.
You heard it here first. Denali is grateful for COVID.
I'm a Corona apologist. At this point, I think production had realized how the fans responded to me because I really don't think that they cared, to be honest. But then after they saw kind of like the reaction from the fans, that this moment was kind of special to have. But yeah, I look crazy.
Yeah, you look good.
I don't even know that girl.
Hello, this is Miss Fiercelicious with Queen Labs Network, and you're watching Drag Financial. Today's guest is a former contestant on season 13 of RuPaul's Drag Race. She might hail from Alaska, but she made her name as a mainstay in the Chicago drag scene. She is a trained US figure skater and a social media titan. Her dance moves left us wanting more, and she has come to deliver. Welcome, Denali. Hi, Denali. How are you doing today?
Hi, gorgeous. I'm good. How are you?
Doing amazing now that you're here.
Oh, you're so sweet.
So where in the world are you right now?
I am in the glamorous city of Baton Rouge, Louisiana. I'm surrounded by crawfish and deep fried alligator, and I couldn't be happier.
I love that. And what have you been up to since your season?
Since my season, I've been traveling really. We were a pandemic season, so we were kind of like blue balls into the world. And then finally, when we were able to just like burst out and travel, we've been doing that. So I've been all over, and it's been so good. So tiring, but so good.
She's international.
You better believe it.
So before you were on Drag Race, you were snatching different kinds of trophies. Can you tell us how you got into competitive figure skating and how the sports compare to the world of drag?
Yeah, absolutely. I grew up in Alaska, and there was really not many choices for extracurricular activities besides like hockey, skiing, figure skating, or like getting pregnant and doing drugs. And I chose the gayest one, and that was figure skating. I wanted to be just like my older sister, and she was a beautiful ice dancer. And yeah, I competed for the US for a good like 15 years, but then I transitioned into shows short after that, and the showgirl world of ice skating is what really translated to drag. The glitz and glamour, the drama, the athleticism, the performance quality, all that. So yeah, that's how I'd say it helped.
For such a new queen, you've managed to cement yourself as a fan favorite really quickly. You're getting higher engagements than queens with millions of followers. How did you accomplish that?
Well, getting onto Drag Race during a global pandemic kind of helped because everyone was at home and they were really bored and they had nothing else to do except for consume the content that we were producing. I think truly our season, because we didn't have the distraction of touring as much, most of our girls put the effort into online content, videos, photo shoots, and things like that. And because Drag Race and drag in general is so consumable over a digital platform, I think we were all able to amass a lot of numbers that way. You see it now. It's kind of, there's so much Drag Race and there's so much going on now that there's not as much engagement online, I think. And so I'm actually really grateful for the pandemic because it gave fans a really good chance to like get to know us intimately.
You heard it here first. Denali is grateful for COVID.
I'm a Corona apologist.
Now, I love your series, Denali on Ice. How did that come about?
I pitched a show about putting drag queens on the ice to World of Wonder, and they never got back to me, so I just did it myself.
Period.
I thought it would be a really fun kind of new thing for people to see drag queens ice skating, because we've seen the makeup tutorials, we've seen the talk shows and the modeling things and whatnot, but we've never really seen them ice skate. And so it's just kind of another way for fans to tap into a niche kind of brand of mine, and for me to also just like have fun with girls that I enjoy spending time with. And Fierce, we should go on the ice sometime.
Oh my God, we should. I used to take like ice skating lessons when I was like 7, so I might give you a run for your money.
A Canadian requirement, kind of.
Yeah, pretty much. Like we live in igloos, you know. So Milk is also known for ice skating. Have you ever thought of collaborating with them?
Oh, I would love to. We've been chatting since I was on the season, and our schedules just have never aligned up. But I think eventually, when we're both in the same place and have the time to do so, I really want to make something cool. She's a fabulous ice dancer. She's really good.
When season 13 aired, there was a big controversy with your lip sync with LALA. It seems like you weren't given enough time to prepare. How did you feel in the moment?
Am I allowed to curse on this?
Yep.
I was literally fucking terrified. I think it was literally my worst nightmare to go onto Drag Race knowing that I was hired as the assassin and feeling held back by a costume piece of mine. Entering in ice skates was not the smartest decision, but we really didn't have too much of basically they told us to just come into the entrance, come in for our entrance looks kind of comfortable. And so I thought, okay, I don't know, maybe it's a long shoot day, maybe we're gonna spin on a wheel or do a modeling thing, but I would have never guessed it was an immediate lip sync for your life. But jokes on production, because that is now the lowest rated episode of RuPaul's Drag Race in history. But I was devastated. I was scared. I was scared and I was sad that I lost that lip sync. But to this day, people are still gagged that I even did it in ice skate. So it kind of actually just helped in my favor because people remember it. So
you definitely got to redeem yourself.
Period. I sure did. And I got to cut up the floors, which
karma.
Oh my God, I look crazy, isn't this? I look crazy.
And what's changed?
Not much, to be honest. Look at RuPaul reading off of that teleprompter. Go on, mother. Mother of the house.
Oh my God.
Oh my God. I look so bad.
I wasn't ready. The outfit's cute.
I wasn't either. Jump scare. Oh my God. I'm gonna literally kill myself. Why do I have blue brows? Oh, because there's blue hair underneath. Lala looks amazing. Yes, my queen. Where is she? She's in like a dungeon.
She's on All Stars.
Oh my God, this was so stressful having to film this.
Was it live?
Yeah, we had to do it like in one take as if it was like a real lip sync. And
she's ready to lip sync.
Literally with the like reveal and everything. I remember I chose to do this crazy reveal wig thing because on the season I had planned to do something like this and didn't get the chance. So I was like, oh, now it's in a controlled environment. Let me do it.
This is your moment. Have it.
Okay, the dress is kind of a serve, but the hair is...
The outfit's giving. It's definitely giving.
The outfit's giving. Yeah, the outfit's cute. And it was heavy. Those are glass beads.
It's neck up. That's taking.
Yeah. I was like, these are heavy. But when they gave us this song, I was so excited because it's Labouche. And I was just like, oh, we're going to eat. Oh, okay. Now I'm in blue hair. Also, I borrowed this wig from from a girl who didn't want me to cut the lace. And so my lace is so bad in this. But either way.
Sounds like I mean,
it's a fierce lip sync.
Yeah.
I'm like happy with the overall lip sync, I think. Oh my God, I haven't seen this in so long.
Yes. Oh, both of you at the same time work.
This was so fierce because we filmed it obviously completely different locations, completely different times, but we both did the same move at that part, which was so cute. But this was fun because, you know, it was a lip sync that we were kind of like told about, so we were able to kind of like, I was able to like choreograph it a little bit. Okay, the body's bodying now. But yeah, it was like a really fun moment. The afro was such a fucking choice. That is so bad. But it was fun, and I'm glad that I won, and I'm glad that it was like a little charity.
And you're a winner.
At this point, I think production had realized how the fans responded to me, because I really don't think that they cared, to be honest. But then after they saw kind of like the reaction from the fans, like this moment was kind of special to have, I think. But yeah, I look crazy.
Yeah, you look good.
I don't even know that girl. But LALA, I love her so much, and she's on our new All-Star.
Yes, she
is.
is.
Proud of her. She's literally so effervescent and wonderful, and I love her so much. Our Miss Congeniality.
Goodbye, blue brows. Let's keep them in 2013. Now, one of your most iconic lip syncs was your lip sync to 100% Pure Love. Let's watch that now.
Roll the tape. Okay, I admit I've seen this a couple times.
She's watched it once or twice.
So, insider tea. This was for the runway, for the train's runway. So there was literally 12 or 13 of us on that stage with these massive dresses for trains. And mine was obviously really heavy. It had these huge feathers, but mine is detachable. And so I'm holding my hands on my hips there, but I'm actually I've already taken the skirt off, and I'm holding the skirt up. Because I was like, ready to do so.
She was ready!
I was ready to do so. I was like, I'm not going home first. And the funny thing is Kimora and I's dresses are made by the exact same designer in Chicago. So it's funny that both of his outfits got this moment.
And poor Kimora is like trapped in that outfit.
I know, pobrecita, but she still slayed it, and she's so beautiful. She literally could just take a shit, and I'd be like, yes. But yeah, you know, when we got our iPods on the show, I saw that the song was on it, and I'm pretty sure during my audition for Drag Race, they were like, what kind of songs do you like to lip sync to? And I had said 90s house music, so LaBouche, Crystal Waters, CeCe Peniston, like that whole era of like house divas. That was my shit. And the fact that it landed on me was very coincidental, you know. But I think that they knew this was going to be kind of a slay. And so, yeah, I completely blacked out. I can't remember a thing. But I remember I was chewing and I was eating it, and like it was the one time on Drag Race where I really felt like I had everybody in the palm of my hand, like the girls in the back, the camera crew, the production, the judges. Like it was just really powerful, and this is probably my favorite moment from my time on Drag Race.
It's definitely amazing to watch.
It's kind of crazy how many people tell me like they watch this to like go to the gym and like get motivated in the day, and like the voguing was so crunchy and it's so no-ging.
The no-gang.
The no-gang.
Don't get Aja in here.
Let's get Aja in here. But I'm really proud of it still, and I'm really like I had a lot of fun, and I think that's the whole point of it. But I am taking voguing classes, and I am really enjoying kind of like actually learning how to vogue. Yes, bitch. That was crazy. She didn't even like pause too when she was like, she said something like, you know how she's usually like, ladies, I've made my decision. She literally was like, Denali, you're safe. I felt really bad.
Your lip sync to 100% Pure Love was definitely one of the best of the season, but you took it to the next level in your Chicago Drag Excellence video. Let's watch that now.
So this was one of my favorite pieces of content that I put out from the show. You know, I knew what happened on Drag Race. I knew it was me versus Kimora. And during the pandemic, we were already just so kind of like separated as a community, and we hadn't seen each other in like a year. It was just really sad, and I missed everybody from the Chicago drag scene. So as safe as we could over 4 days, we shot this video that just featured a lot of Chicago's drag artists. The coloring could have been a lot better. But yeah, and it was just kind of a celebration of Chicago drag, and we brought everybody together in groups of 4. There was no more than like 8 people in this giant space at one time because we had to do it safely. And it was just really fun to hear like Lucy Stools laugh and see Detox again, and just like have this room full of like queer Chicago joy. And then it sparked a bit of like the same thing in a lot of other cities, and I saw like the Philippines drag excellence, and like, you know, LA drag excellence and Nashville drag excellence pop up, and that was kind of cool to see. Oh, those girls were in those videos? I didn't know that.
Oh yeah, Lucy LaDuca, Georges, Aura Maury, Irene Dubois.
Oh.
All did based off of your thing.
Period, trendsetter.
Now, how did you get into drag? Tell us about the process.
I'm a Drag Race baby. I watched, when I was working on cruise ships, all the gays would get together and watch Drag Race on Sundays. And I think it was season 5. I want to say it was like Alaska, Roxy, Jinx, Detox. And yeah, I was just instantly hooked. I was like, I could totally do this. So any excuse I could, I would do like really bad costume drag on the ships. And then not much has changed because I still do the same. No. Then yeah, it just year after year, I like wanted to do it so bad. So I moved to Chicago because those were like where my favorite queens were at the time. I networked and I did a lot of amateur shows, and I got booked really quickly because I was like one of the few dance queens in the city. And then I auditioned for Drag Race and I got on, which was crazy because everything happened so fast, but that's kind of how it happened.
How long did it take you to prepare your package for the competition? And what was the hardest part?
Oh my God, we had 4 weeks. I think generally it averages 3 or 4 weeks per season. I've never known of girls having less than 3 weeks.
Britta says she got 2 weeks.
Who?
Britta Filter, we just interviewed her.
Oh my God, yeah. That's crazy. Actually, yeah, that does sound kind of familiar. That's crazy. Well, we were in the middle of the pandemic, and so they were a little more gracious with us. They gave us 1 extra week, but it wasn't about the time. It was about the resources. Like, we just did not have, people were not working. Like, literal fabrics were difficult to obtain. Like, it was really, really hard. So we had to get creative, and you know, I was really lucky to have a lot of friends around me that helped out, but we had about 4 weeks to get everything ready. It was crazy.
You were on a season with a lot of drag queen heavyweights when it comes to the fashion category. Did you feel any pressure to have to live up to previous seasons?
I didn't while I was preparing, because obviously I didn't know who was on. And then when I got there, I was like, fuck. Like, they were, I mean, it's true. We have a very fashion heavy season. We also had girls that just had connections like none other in the fashion world already before going on. So I think that really pushed things to another level. Got Mick, Simone, Utica, Kimora even really served a lot of amazing fashion moments. We had quite a few fashion girls, and I was a queen of 2 years when I went on the show, barely. And everything in my closet were dance costumes because in my local scene, all I was there to do, was booked for, was to be a dancer. I'd never worn a gown before. I'd never corseted, obviously. And like, there was a lot of things that I was just very baby drag queen at. So even though I thought something was fashionable going on, those other girls really pushed me and taught me a lot more about fashion education in general. So I'm grateful for it. And to be honest, like, to this day, I still think they're some of the most incredible looks that have been on the show, from like Mick and Simone. So yeah.
Some queens have talked about the financial commitment it takes to get onto Drag Race. Was that ever a concern for you?
Yeah, I mean, I think that's a concern for every queen. But yeah, it's super expensive, and the pressure to spend more money and to do well and compete well is always on the table, and is always an issue when you're first going. I took out a credit card and I paid it back fairly soon after. I really didn't spend too much money on my Drag Race package. I mean, it showed. But we were in the middle of a pandemic, so I really just needed to kind of like do what I could and gather the resources I could. I borrowed a lot of outfits from friends. I had a lot of friends make outfits that kind of like cut me deals and things like that. But for the most part, I still spent a good chunk of money, but I was able to pay it back pretty swiftly after.
A lot of queens don't talk about the cost of managing their wardrobe. In this profession, you can accumulate a lot of clothes. Now, can you let us know about the cost of storage for you?
Yeah, that's a really good question, actually, because it's quite an epidemic. It can really fill up quickly, and drag is only getting bigger and bigger, so it fills up space pretty fast. I wouldn't say I've spent a lot on storage. What I tend to do is I'll either sell my stuff on a site called Depop. The fans get like access to some of the stuff we've worn or some of the things on the show, or I just give my stuff away to the local girls in my community, because I'm not gonna wear those things again, and it's nice to just like see my stuff worn by this girl or that girl whenever I'm out and about. But yeah, I didn't really spend too much. I do have a storage unit that like the chandelier and the bigger drag lives in, but that's probably, I think it's about like $60 a month or something. It's nothing crazy.
What's something you didn't know before going on to the competition, and how would you do it differently now?
That's a great question. I thought I was a fan of Drag Race going into the competition, but really being a fan of Drag Race, the way that like Candy was, or the way that like just some of my other competitors were, in terms of knowing production wise what to deliver versus what to deliver to the actual judges. I wish I'd have known that a little bit more. I wish I'd have had a better understanding of television and how that worked. I wish I'd have grepped onto storylines that I was given that I was like not so sure about at the time. It was really stressful, and you're so tired, and it's hard to be thinking about all that stuff while you're there. But for the most part, I think I just needed more time to grow in general. I was literally a baby queen of 2 years. So if anything, I would have just wished that I had like maybe one more year to grow. But also, I'm really grateful still for the experience of going on early, because I was able to grow faster after that.
How has your local drag scene affected your access to top designers?
Affected my access to top designers? My local drag scene, how has that affected my access to top designers? I wouldn't say my local drag scene has really affected my access to designers. Drag Race has affected my access to designers. Being on that platform and being exposed to so many more people, I've had the ability to work with people I never or would have thought I would be able to, or just people that I've dreamt of. But my local scene granted me access to a lot more Chicago-based designers, a lot more of my friends. Joshua Ponte, who's made incredible work for drag queens on the show. So yeah, just kind of like Chicago-based designers.
Thank you guys for watching. Make sure to subscribe so you can stay up to date with our weekly content. And don't forget to hit the like button and leave us a comment below to let us know who you want to see next. And if you want early or exclusive content, make sure to support us here. Now click here to see the next part of our interview.